Dad's dream to talk about his favorite team with the son of digging the stats. Come and join us, nerding on the Dbacks.
Hello, welcome to Nerding on the Dbacks, the one and only.
That's right, father-son baseball show in America.
Yep.
All right.
There's a bunch in Antarctica. I said that already. There's
Did
a
you?
bunch. Yeah, I said Antarctica.
Oh. Egypt,
Yeah.
Spain.
There's a bunch in
Germany.
Spain.
I think we just need to I need to get a world map just put up on the wall in here so you can just pick or maybe even better would be like one up on the ceiling, because then it could look like you were deep in thought while you were,
How about we put a dartboard up there and I just go,
boop. Yeah, that sounds
All
good
right.
too. All right, well, welcome back to the show.
Yep.
Yeah, it's today is the day that we do.
Did you really just say that?
That's right. The game show that is sweeping America, or at least our little fan
Yeah.
dumb. So let me remind you here about. Actually, you tell the kids at home how this works. Okay.
All right. So, did you really just say that? Our game show where we make predictions, and the predictions must be quantifiable. We will track the predictions with like hits, saying like first base, second base, and home run, which we don't add third base for some reason. And we will decide on the hit for each prediction when we make it. So let's say I make a prediction, and if it's like most likely going to happen, it's probably a single. If it's never going to happen, it's probably a home run.
That's right. I wouldn't say most likely happen, but if it's basically a coin flip.
Yeah.
Did you really just say that?
Yeah. So that's our game. Did you really just say that? And we always start off, did you really just say that, by explaining the rules. And then, of course, we go to recap the predictions that we made and came off the board. And we call that, you really just said that.
You said that. Really?
So let's start again with Son. Son,
Yeah.
what did you have come off the board?
All right. So Jordan Montgomery will record a quarter start.
Quality.
Start in his debut versus the Giants, and he definitely had that. He looked really good.
I think he went 6 innings, gave up 1 run.
Yep.
Yeah, solid.
Looked really
solid
good.
in his second start too. 7 innings, 2 runs, but yeah.
And I got that right. Woo.
Yeah. Woo, snaps. All right.
I said that. Really?
And then you really said that. What else did you really say?
I said D-backs will hit at least 1 home run each game in most series. Is that?
In the most recent series, yeah.
In the most recent series versus the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, I said that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That did not go well.
Nope, that didn't happen. I think they only hit a home run in 1 game of the series, and I think they hit I forget how many home runs they hit in that game where they put up 14 on the Cardinals, but it was I know they hit it. I remember Pavin Smith hitting 1 because it was a grand slam. I don't remember if they hit any other home runs in that specific game, but yeah.
All right, and for my final wrong prediction, D-backs will have a first inning leadoff hit versus Giants in their Sunday afternoon tilt.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Yeah, they didn't.
That was it's kind of an ugly game in general.
Yeah.
Wait. I think that was a game that they won, right?
No, yeah, probably. I think so.
Yeah. I think they won that Sunday afternoon game, but they didn't have a hit in the first inning. So
yeah,
that's a good. I mean, 1 out of 3. It's a good showing.
Yeah,
that's kind of what you're shooting for. So very cool. Let's see. Let's talk about Dad. What did Dad have come off the board? I said Kevin Newman and Blaze Alexander will each get 3 starts in at shortstop over this series against the Cardinals and the Giants.
He really said that? Yes.
And I was right. Now, I was partially correct, I think.
Woo! Yeah.
I was partially correct, I think, because Blaze Alexander missed 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, he got injured, so you got lucky.
Because of a hamstring strain. But here's the crazy part is that even since he's come back, and maybe it has to do with his hamstring still being a little
iffy.
Yeah, just a little strained. I'm pretty sure I looked back at the last 10 games, and I believe that even if you include the last 4 games after the Cardinals and Giants, or the last 3 games after the Cardinals Giants series, and actually it was not over the Giants and Cardinals series. It was over the last 3 games of the Giants series and the Cardinals series, and then they had a 4-game set after that, and they have each started 5 games in the last 10 at shortstop.
Okay, so you would have got it right.
Yeah, no matter how, it's just crazy that Blaze cannot get the starting nod at shortstop for multiple games in a row, or more than 2 games in a row. I just, I get it against lefties. You want to have Newman in there, and maybe it's just I'm not paying attention, and the D-backs are just literally playing lefty after lefty after lefty, which has sort of been happening, and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'd like to see Blaze get some extended run at shortstop.
Oh yeah, I said that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You did that one already.
Yep, I'm gonna do all of them already again. So the one that I got wrong was the D-backs will shut out the Giants in 1 game of their most recent series.
Yeah.
Hey, that didn't happen.
You said that. Really?
So I just, they did hold them to 1 run in one of the games, close, but couldn't shut them out. So that would have been a fun one to get right. So let's take a look here. We're gonna take a look because like Phoenix said, we keep track of all the stats, and so we've got our stat lines for the season. Yep. And so you really said that. Dad has a batting average of 471, son of 375. Dad has 2 doubles. Son has 2 doubles. Dad has no home runs, and son has 2 home runs.
It's definitely weird how batting average works because you have 2 doubles and I have 2 doubles, and I have 2 home runs and I have 375 and you have 471.
Yeah. Something I thought about. Well, we can look at this for next year, but incorporating walks into the equation. So coin flips are walks, singles are 40% chance, 40-ish% chance to get right. Is that what I said? No, walk is 40, 30, 20, 10. That's what it was. Walk, single, double, home run.
I kind of want to put the predictions that we get wrong as strikeouts.
I mean, they're all wrong. It's just whatever we didn't.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at, though. That makes sense. I like it. All right,
let's get to the fun part.
Yeah, so let's make some predictions here about this. I mean, we got the end of May or end of April coming, so we got May statistics to make some predictions about. We got the Dodgers series starting up tonight, and that's always a big one. And so,
speaking of the Dodgers series, I'll go first.
All right, you start us off.
So speaking of the Dodgers series, I'm going to say that the D-backs will win the Dodgers series. Yep, they're going to win it because, Dodgers are bad and D-backs are good.
Did you really just say that?
That's my reason.
Yeah, I mean, by record, you might be convinced otherwise, but that said, Dodgers are coming into Arizona. There's no reason the D-backs can't take 2 out of 3 at least in this series. I agree, and they potentially have a good pitching matchup in the third game if they can. They can hang with these guys tonight. They got Paxton going, the Dodgers, and Dbacks can make that one. They can put up some runs against that lefty. They got Blaze starting at leadoff tonight.
Yeah, I feel like they have a good offense, but their pitching is.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what I would say. They got that Yamamoto guy.
Yeah, and he's been okay.
He's come from like another league for us, like
NPB.
It's in Japanese league. Right?
Yep, that's
and
right.
They use like different balls, I think, and they're more small.
They are a little bit smaller. Most people don't know that. That's awesome that you know that. Yeah, Japanese. It's by. Yeah. I'm not entirely certain of this, but I think it's because. The rest of the world, for the most part, in baseball, they use the metric system for creating their baseballs. Yeah, whereas the United States uses the imperial system.
Yeah.
So we measure our ball in inches, and they measure theirs, I believe, in centimeters, and so therefore it ends up being a little bit shorter as a result, or essentially a little bit shorter, but just a little bit smaller, just a little bit, like just a tiny bit. But So they're going up against Paxton tonight, who the D-backs can take apart, and then they got Montgomery versus Landon Knack, who Landon Knack's a pretty good prospect of a pitcher. So that'll be a tough one. And then Yamamoto hopefully versus Gallen. We don't know that it's Gallen yet, but it's Gallen's turn in the rotation.
That's right. You just said that.
So, all right. Well, I like it. Let's go, D-backs. All right, so
give me a prediction.
My first prediction of the day is Corbin Carroll will lead the team in OPS in May.
Want to tell us what OPS is again?
Yeah, on base plus slugging percentage. It's kind of the quickest, easiest, dirtiest math that you can use to see how to kind of Cliff notes how good a player has been on offense. And so, I think, I actually posted this on Twitter earlier today. I don't know how many people saw it, but I went and looked at Corbin Carroll's some info on Baseball Savant and like where things have kind of been going wrong for him. And there's kind of two glaring issues. One is he's not hitting fastballs very well, which is super weird. His OPS on fastballs is way, way down, like way more than any other pitch, which is crazy because most players thrive on fastballs, but Carroll has not been doing very well on them. And so I'm not sure.
What was his OPS?
I don't remember exactly, but I know, so they actually, I don't know if they show OPS, but they show WOBA, and his WOBA is down significantly, expected WOBA as well on on fastballs. It's legitimately like last season. Fastballs is where he basically, what made him such a good hitter was he just absolutely smashed fastballs. Yeah. And then on top of that, specifically, I'm making a leap here in dissecting this, but because I think it's probably, and I'm curious to watch this closer now that I've gone through and looked at all of this, if it's fastballs high in the zone, like middle. What's crazy is when he's getting fastballs, or any pitch really, but fastballs especially, middle, right? We talk about middle.
Yeah, it's like
batters will just demolish that.
Yeah, the golden ball.
He's been terrible against pitches thrown middle so far this season. It's kind of weird, like remarkably terrible. And he's been bad middle up and middle in, which is so strange. And to a lesser degree, up and in, but he's almost every hitter's bad up and in. It's the hardest place to hit a baseball. And so, he's popping up a lot of those balls. His pop-up rate, his infield fly ball rate, is more than 2 times what it was last year. That's a lot. He went from like 5% to, or like 6% to 15%.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah. And so he's just mishitting balls. He's popping them up to infielders instead of sending fly balls into the outfield. And it's coming off of fastballs mostly is what I'm guessing. So I don't know if it's something mechanical. I know this sounds really simple and stupid, but I followed baseball long enough that I've heard these stories about guys who are struggling with high pitches, and it's really high pitches specifically that are popping the ball up. And a lot of those guys, what happens is they take a couple inches, step back an inch or two away from the plate in their setup, and it changes everything for them. So I'm not going to be some coach of his sitting here on a podcast telling him, hey, here's what you got to do, Corbin. I'm sure you got guys on top of this, but it's really kind of remarkable. Like, there have been players who have gone through that I have followed that have gone through half a season or pretty much a full season, calendar year, from one half season to the next half season, of guys who were great and then just fell apart. And they literally say, yeah, I just realized I had crept up closer and closer to the plate in my setup, and it's not something I was paying attention to. And so I just backed away, and it made all the difference in the world. And it's crazy. Like, it's certainly the most common thing that I hear from hitters who are kind of going through something like what Carroll is right now. And so I think he's going to figure it out. He's too good. There's nothing really in his profile outside of it. Like, there's nothing that pitchers have really done to change how they're attacking Corbin Carroll, what kind of pitches they're throwing him. The one thing that is slightly different is they're throwing him more pitches out of the zone, but he's walking a ton. So he's not swinging at pitches just because they're throwing him more out of the zone. He's not swinging. In fact, I would actually say he's swinging even at he's doing a better job of taking pitches outside the zone than he was a year ago. And he's not hitting pitches outside the zone as well as he was last season. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think he's going to figure it out, and I think he's going to figure it out in May. I think he's going to go on a nice tear here. And he's going to lead the team in OPS, which would be a hell of a turnaround, because I think he's like 7th or 8th in OPS right now.
I think he's stuck in a hole right now.
I don't think he's going to have the team lead in OPS by any means by the end of May, but I think in the month of May itself, within the calendar month of May, he's gonna lead the team in OPS.
Yep, he's just in a hole, and his coaches need to give him a ladder, I guess.
Maybe he needs something so he can hit that high. The problem is its knees to midway between the belt buckle and the armpits is what the MLB strike zone definition is. So yeah, that's it. That's my first prediction. So
I just said that.
What do you have for your first or your second prediction there?
All right, my second prediction is Dbacks will hold Showtime or Shohei Ohtani to 0 hits in upcoming Dodger series.
Woo!
Which
Did you really just say that?
tonight.
That might have been kind of loud. My woo.
Woo!
Yeah. I love Misa. I do enjoy watching Showtime play, but not as much when he's just hitting. If he's hitting and pitching, he's a far more entertaining player. As just a hit, I mean, he has been hitting something outrageous. I think he's got the best OPS in Major League Baseball so far this season.
Not anymore when he gets
yeah,
struck out.
when the D-backs are down with him. I think number 2 is his teammate Mookie Betts. I'm pretty certain
Mookie.
that's the case, which is just nuts. So yeah, I love it. I think they could do that. They got 2 lefties pitching against him, against their team, and so I think they got this and can pull it off.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go D-backs.
Let's show him time.
So, and so my second prediction of the night is Slade Cecconi will stay in the rotation when the next starting pitcher returns from the injured list.
Yeah, you just said that.
And so I think, as you know, I am of the opinion that Slade a year ago was the best starting pitcher prospect of Henry, Ciccone, Nelson. And while I think Nelson surpassed Ciccone on that list, I don't think Henry has by any means. And so I really think as long as whenever they get a sixth starting pitcher back, we'll call him a sixth starting pitcher, because I want to make sure this is scored correctly. As long as they get a sixth starting pitcher back, one of those three guys on the IL comes back and nobody else goes on the IL in the meantime, I believe that Tommy Henry will be the next starting pitcher that goes down to AAA. Or gets bumped from the rotation for the bullpen. But I don't think they're going to do that. I'm pretty sure they're going to send him to AAA. Slade's looked great in his first couple of starts this season, first MLB starts this season, and I really think he's going to keep this up. He's good.
Oh yeah, I said that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
He throws great stuff, gets decent strikeouts, hasn't walked barely anybody, and he's keeping the ball in the park so far. So let's go Slade Ciccone. Plus, you got a really good, fun Italian name. I like that. Ciccone. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's my second prediction. What's your third and final?
You really just say that?
All right. So for my third and final prediction, this is not a Nerding on the Dbacks show without Lourdes Gurriel in it. So I'm gonna say Lourdes Gurriel is strikeout rate will be under 16% by the end of May, and his strikeout rate right now on Fangraphs is 16.7.
Yeah, 16.7.
Let's get that down, Lourdes.
Yeah.
So I can get a prediction.
Yeah. So to clarify, this is not quite like my Carroll prediction where it's for the month of May. This is your season long at the end of May.
Yeah. So
all right.
At like 30 or the 30th day.
31st is the last day of May. Yeah.
That's right. You just said that.
So after that, let's see what he's at.
Yeah. Yeah. So very cool. I don't know actually what Lourdes's strikeout rate is for his career or what it was last year. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was 17 point something.
Yeah. I think
I looked at it. I think it was 17 point something.
I think I'd straight up give this and the Showtime prediction. I'd give them both home runs because.
Oh really?
Yeah, those are both great. If Lourdes can get a strikeout rate under 16, that's awesome. I mean, strikeouts are kind of neither here nor there, but it makes for more entertaining baseball for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So very cool. Let's see. My third and final prediction.
He really said that? Yes.
Is that Scott McGuff will be optioned to the minors before the end of May. I don't wish any ill will upon the man. And here's the thing. I believe he's got $7, $8, $10 million in the bank. I don't think he needs to feel bad about some scrub podcaster making this prediction about him. He just hasn't pitched that well this year. And he certainly pitched the worst of all of the guys in the bullpen. He hasn't had a good stretch. Not like Bryce. Him and Bryce Jarvis look, from a season cumulative standpoint, have looked the worst. But Bryce has had some really great moments and has had a couple of has had a good stretch so far this season. Scott's just kind of getting beat up every time he comes in. And so he wasn't that good last season either. He's 34 years old, which means he's probably not going to get any better at this point. And he has 2 option years remaining. So he can go ride the bus, get his $3.5 million. It shouldn't be that big of a deal for him to be sent down. And I hope it's in getting somebody, some of these guys off the disabled list, whether it's Kyle Nelson comes back, though I don't.
Did you just say disabled list?
Oh, is that what it? Yeah, I did. That's what it used to be called until like four seasons ago. I think 2020 they changed it from disabled list, to injured list.
I never knew that was called a disabled list. I
Yeah.
Did they get like free parking? Parking spots?
Yeah, that's why I got changed. Disabled has taken on a different term or like a different meaning these days than it did back in the 1960s or whenever a disabled list became a thing.
Do they also
in baseball
join the Special Olympics?
Right. Yeah. No, that was So the the injured list. Yeah. So hopefully one of these guys when they comes back, or hear me out.
Or
Dakota Chalmers pitching kind of amazing. He threw 2 more innings over the weekend and struck out 4 more guys in his 2 innings. He's now got 11 strikeouts on the season. 11 innings pitched with 21 strikeouts on the season. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So
put him in the Dodgers series. I need him for Shohei when he comes up.
I'm just not as confident because he's not on the 40-man roster. I'm not as confident that he's going to get a call up, but I mean, not anytime soon. I have a feeling he's probably going to be like an emergency call up or
like kind of like a Jorge Barroso switching in for Alec Thomas.
Yeah, I just don't know. They've only got one guy on there. They only have one other pitcher that realistically they could DFA, and he's another pitcher that they just signed on waivers. And so I don't know. I hope Dakota gets his chance though, because those numbers are staggering.
I just said that.
And so, 11 innings, 21 strikeouts against AAA pitchers in Reno. That's fantastic. Scott McGough probably gets optioned here or is the next pitcher to get sent down unless it's a pitcher that comes off the injured list. But I think he gets optioned before the end of May. I just don't see this turning around for him. And whether it's Chalmers or somebody else coming off the injured list that takes his place, I don't know. But yeah, I think he doesn't make it. So that's it for our show. Did you really just say that?
We're gonna
game
see
show.
If we really just said that.
Yeah. Let's see if what we really just said really comes true.
Let's hope Shohei Ohtani doesn't get a hit.
Yeah, I'm totally into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So thank you for checking us out. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and channel your inner kindergartner.
And share.
That's right. And with that, let's go out with a do-do-do-do-do-do.
Nerding.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. On the do-do-do-do-do. Dbacks. Woo!
That
Bye.
Bye. That wasn't